Hello and welcome to Magic of Life with me, Upinder Sandhu. Today, what we're going to talk about is calmness and happiness. We all want to be happy and we all want to be calm. But are we actually calm? Are we actually happy? We all pretend to be calm. We all pretend to be happy. But what's the reality? We have put on so many masks of happiness and calmness that we pretend that we're happy, especially in work, in relationships, when we are around friends, even when we are with ourselves, we are not really true to ourselves. And before I dig deep into the subject of being happy and calm, let's talk about what actually the calmness is. According to me, what I have understood, you can only be calm when your state of mind is physically and mentally are at same level. They are what are you are outside and what's inside are at the same frequency, or what we say same bandwidth. If we are similar in and out, then we can be calm when we say we are calm. But if we are angry from inside and we're trying to pretend to be happy or smiling, then we can't be calm at both physical and mental level. And what has happened in 21st century, we have become more and more deluded by this false pretending of or false persona of being calm and happy. And what we do when a manager shouts at us, or when we are having an argument with our family member or a friend, we try to pretend to be calm. We just show that we are calm, but inside there's a major turbulence. There's a storm going on of stress, anger, anxiety. You want to, sometimes you are so angry from inside that you want to kill the next person, the person who is in front of you. But what we doing? We are pretending that we are calm. And we take that, we are out of that situation, and we take that situation and pretend that it's okay. Everything that happened, the anger, the storm, the stress, that anxiety that happened inside you, we accept it. We accept it to be the new normal. But this is killing your immune system. This is killing your happiness. This is killing your relationship. This is killing every aspect of your life, including yourself. So we need to drop down this false pretending attitude to bring calmness and happiness. 21st century is too fast, too equipped, too overcrowded, and too 24/7. When I say too fast, I mean that our psychological development has not happened at that level in parallel or inequality with the materialistic development. Like going 20 years back in 20th century, there were no phones. We have to wait. The patience was in us because of the circumstances, because of the nature of the world we were living in. But now what's happening is we have got these phones in our hands and we need constant communication. And we are so impatient that we can't even wait for a few minutes of for other person to reply. There are big arguments if you don't get a reply, or if you don't reply to somebody, or somebody doesn't reply to your message just because of one message that you replied like 5 minutes later. The understanding level has gone so down that the other person doesn't understand that you can be busy. If you're free doesn't mean the other person is free. And now when I say overcrowded, overcrowded means if we look at like 150 years ago, the population of this planet was 1 billion. Now we are touching nearly 8 billion. So over last 150 years, over a century and a half, we have increased 8 times. So what happens when we have increased 8 times? There's a constraint on the resources, living space. We the space which like one person used to occupy is occupied by 8 people. Imagine you are living in a three-bedroom house, and initially you are like 3 people, but all of a sudden you get another 10 people to live with. It's not even 8 times; it's just 3 times. How stressful it would be! How much strain it would put on your lives. How would it affect your privacy? It will affect the whole aspects of your life, your mental, your psychological, your physiological as well, because there will be less to eat, there will be less to breathe. And when I'm saying 24/7, what does that mean? If we go to 20 years back, there was nothing. Nightlife was so limited. It was in only in major cities. But now we go to the villages as well. There is a proper nightlife. We are working 24/7. We are working 24/7. This shift culture was not that dominant like 10, 20 years, 20 years ago. I'm not going to say 10 years ago. This shift, life pattern of doing shifts, because we have increased our demands. And to meet those demands, we have to work. We have to stretch our working hours. Otherwise, to be honest, if we watch our needs and limit our needs, then you will be surprised that there is a big difference between the wants and the needs. And this also goes back to the psychological development in the marketing area, how the psychologists are ruling the marketing world, advertisement world, social media, the ads you say, these are psychologically made. They're not just made by some random person. There is a big science of making these adverts to hook to your brain. So this is one of the big things that we need to pretend. We all want to be happy, calm, and joyful all the time, but it is not happening to us. Stress, anxiety, burnout, depression, addiction, they are becoming a major problem in the society because we are living life at such a pace that we don't know when to take a break. And there's another stigma that busyness is the new normal, that if we are not busy, we are not successful. This is the new norm of the society, that you have to be busy to be successful, to be happy. But do you really think that you have to be really, really busy? You have to be 24/7 to be successful, to be happy, to be calm, or to be respected in the society? This comes to, I think, the hidden ego within us, that what others will say, what others will say. We're not looking what we need. We're looking what society wants from us. And this comes back to the normal behavior of our belief systems, like how our belief systems have been shifted according to the society, the needs of the society, need of the marketing world. It's not your needs, it's not your wants, it's the wants that have been shown to you, that have been ingrained in your neural pathways over the last decade. Thank you, Steve. So it's just like those things we need to ask ourselves what we need, what makes us happy. We need to take a break. Like I always say, we need to pause. We are running our life at such a pace that we don't even take a break. Even we give our cars a break. We service our cars, we take them for MOT, we get them repaired. But what about ourselves? What are we doing with ourselves? We need to look the part to show others we are doing. Yes, that's also one of the big things, that show off world we are living in, that we have to buy these designer clothes, we have to have this big car, we have to have this big house to be respected in the society. But I asked you this question: why does somebody else's approval mean so much to you? Is it worth on the sacrifice of your health, your happiness, your relationship? I don't believe so, and I think you would agree with me if you think, take a pause and think about what we're talking about, the way we are living. I urge all of you to sit down, have a break, few deep breaths, and think where your life is going. Why is it so speedy? Why is there so much pace in it? Why can't we just slow down for a day or two? Why can't we just have me time for at least half an hour a day? Why can't we be with our loved ones without distraction, without expectations? Why can't we do that? Why can't we live a normal life? Now the question comes in, do we know what a normal life is? I think in 21st century we have forgot what a new normal life is. We are living in a society which is playing with our mind all the time. Somebody is telling us something to do. We're not doing what we need to do. Like growing up, parents are telling their kids, you need to do this, you need to become this. A child is born and a whole plan for his future is decided without his approval. The whole blueprints are there for him. At age of 5, you should be doing that. Age of 10, you need to be going to that school. At 15, and you should be going to this university. Do we let the kids breathe, have them think about themselves, about their future? We don't train them to train their brains to think about themselves, to listen to themselves. We are just training them to listen to the others. It starts at home, then it goes to the school, then society. We are training the millennials to listen to the others, but nobody is telling them that they need to listen to themselves. We are sorry, we are teaching them about everything else apart from their own health, their own psychological development, their own physical development. We're just talking about what they need to do to be successful in the society, successful in the eyes of the others. We are not telling them to love what they want to be. We are not teaching them how to live a calm, peaceful life. So, these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves, and we need to teach our kids to ask themselves these questions. We need to take a break. We need to have a pause in life. And today is Sunday, and let me share you one report I read a few days ago. You know how many heart attacks happen on Monday morning in USA? Monday morning. The most number of heart attacks happens on Monday morning in USA because 80% of the population is not happy with what they are doing. They go into depression, they go into this state of shock after the football match on Sunday evening. And I believe that's true here in UK as well and other parts of the world. That people are going to the same bored jobs that they never wanted to do. As a kid, they were told to do. Like growing up, I was told to be an engineer. That's it. I wanted to be a solicitor, but my parents said, no, you have to be either engineer or doctor. That's a part of growing up in a middle class Indian family. You had two choices, either a doctor or engineer, nothing else. But we are born different. Everybody is different. So how can we all doing the same thing? There is a hidden artist, there can be a hidden painter, there can be a hidden writer, there can be a hidden singer, there can be anything. But we need to give the kids a bit of space, bit of air to find out what they are good at, what they want to do. I want to encourage you to sit with your kids and or sit with yourself as well. Are you happy with what you are doing? That's another question we need to ask. Are you happy with what you are doing? Let alone kids. Let's talk about ourselves first. Are you happy with what you are doing? Are you satisfied? You go to work 8 to 9 hours a day. Some goes 12 hour day. Are you happy in those 8 or 12 hours? If you're not happy, then you need to learn how to be happy with your work. There's a simple art of mindfulness that can make you happy. There, there's a simple saying from a Roman philosopher, like I mentioned here in this on the screen as well. It says, "When shall we live, if not now? When shall we live, if not now?" Most of us are either living in the past or living in the future. But where is life happening? We need to understand this thing, this basic thing. Where is life happening? Life is happening here and right now, in this present moment. What has happened is past. You can never change it. It has been done. And what's going to happen? You have no control over it. What's going to happen this very second? You don't know. I'm talking to you live. If the internet breaks down, do I have control over it? Do I know it will break or not? Or your internet might break, or your battery might die. S- Anything can happen. But we can't live with that anxiety of what's going to happen. Then, if we live with that, then won't be, or we won't be enjoying this conversation. So we have to live in the present. It's a simple art of living in present. So, and like I teach mindfulness, and with mindfulness, you can learn how to live in present. You can simply get rid of stress and most of your mental and physical ailments just by learning how to slow down, how to pause, and how to breathe. I've been talking about breathing. One simple process of breathing properly can reduce so many mental and physical ailments in your body. So, is it so hard to slow down for a couple of minutes a day and breathe properly? Having 10 deep breaths a day, how hard it is. We are doing so much to earn this money. Now we are spending so much time to earn this money. But if we don't look after this body of ours, then we will spending most of this money on illness because this is a body, this is a vehicle, this is a car. You are traveling this world. And if you don't service it, if you don't maintain it, if you don't MOT it, if you don't fuel it properly, if you don't check the engine oil, someday it's going to break down and it's going to break down big. And then you're going to be suffering and then you're going to be spending all your earnings on mending this broken vehicle. And so, why not just be careful and service it regularly? Like this plant, I was away for like 2 weeks and I didn't water it. So it has got like dead leaves already. 2 weeks. And this is like a seasonal plant. It doesn't need that much of maintenance. But I had few plants that have died in last 2 weeks because I didn't attend to them. One of my peace lilies has died. So if these plants need so much care, so much love, affection, we are human, we are the best form of creation of God or universal power, whatever you believe in, right? So we need to start loving ourselves. We need to fill our bucket of love first. We can't love others if our bucket of love is empty. It's simply like you can't pour water from an empty bucket. So you have to fill your bucket first. You need to have something. You can't give somebody any money if you haven't earned any, if there's nothing in your pocket. You can't pretend to be calm, happy, and teach others if you're not happy and calm from inside. It will reflect in your words, in your behavior. So it's a simple practice like of mindfulness, taking few deep breaths. I'm surprised, I'm shocked about this circus going on over internet, over social media, about this fancy mindfulness, yoga and all that things. But basic thing, I always say it's very basic. Learn how to deep breathe properly. Learn how to breathe into your belly, diaphragm breathing. Just learn that. Stress, anxiety will leave you forever. You don't need to just do those fancy circus of this and that. You don't need to go to retreats. You don't need to go to jungles. In your home, in your garden, on your dining table, you can kick this stress, anxiety, burnout, depression, addiction out of your life. It's so simple. That's the irony. That's the paradox. We don't believe in simple things. We don't want to do simple things because of the culture. We want fancy things. We want to wear a designer t-shirt at expense of our happiness. We will work 12 hours extra shift to just buy one designer t-shirt. Why can't we wear a normal t-shirt and spend those 12 hours with our family, with ourselves, in doing what we love to do? We buy an expensive car and then we do like 3 or 4 shifts a month to just pay the EMI of that car. Why can't we have a normal car according to our budget and spend those 4 5 days of our life for ourselves? Give our this car a break. Why are we not living our lives within the means? That's simple question. We need to ask. We need to go to the basics. When things are going wrong, we need to go to the basics. And that's it, I think. And now, before we close, I'm going to talk about how mindfulness can help or what mindfulness techniques we can incorporate in our life to bring calmness, happiness, etc. in our life. So, first one is like we have these phones, we all have these phones, and on average, a person would spend 4 hours of lifetime on this phone. So what we can do is basically, I've just downloaded one picture here. So why don't we change, we can't see it, I think, our background of our phone just to do that. So that we remember, we remind ourselves to have a deep breath because we think we will remember, but we are so consumed in our life. Our life is so busy that we forget to deep breathe. So if we have few deep breaths a day, I think it will improve our psychological and mental health. There are so many scientific studies now done, research has been done about the benefits of deep breathing. So From today for next 4 weeks, just put this as your screensaver that will remind you to have a deep breath here and there. And once you it becomes your second nature, then you can change it back to whatever you want to be. But it is one of the easiest way to bring mindfulness into your life. Just breathe. And then other thing is set reminders. There are hourly reminder apps. There's so many apps there that you can download on your phones. They're separate for Android and then use that. And every hour, just take deep one deep breath, just one deep breath, few times a day. Even you miss few, but out of 16 or 17 hours of us being awake, I'm sure you will at least take like half of it. And maybe sometimes you can take, instead of one, you can take two deep breaths, three, depending upon the situation and time where you are. So download that. And then, or you can just put simply these sort of reminders. Just be present. Just put an hourly reminder on your phones that it comes to your mind. It stays with you that you have to take a deep breath and you have to live in the present, here and now, because life is happening. Life is happening. One second, I'm just getting few messages. Let me reply because sorry about that. So we need to remind ourselves because once it's become a habit, then we will do it automatically. Like everything else is happening, we get up in the morning. So because it's in our conscious mind at the moment that we need to breathe, have a deep breath, or we need to live in the present, we have to come back to what we are doing. But slowly, when we do it, these neural pathways in our brain to be in the present will get more thickened. They will be just like a straight road. Then you don't have to remind yourself. So they will be in you. That will become your second nature. But initially, you have to put an effort. Like when we started working, we had to put an effort again and again and again. Similarly, with mindfulness for being present, because we have never been taught to live in the present, to be conscious. So this is a new training for our brain. So this is simple way. First, on your screensaver, home page of your phone, put breathe or be present, whatever you want to be, whatever makes sense to you. And then set a reminder on your phones or download an app. And like now these days, third tip is you change your email signature to with gratitude. Like I can't stress enough that how important is gratitude in our lives. The more gratitude we bring in our lives, more easier, more calm, more happy we will become. We will start appreciating what we have. We will start enjoying very little things that are in our life that we don't even appreciate. We don't even know that they are here. Especially internet, our parents, the food on our plate, these plants, they give us oxygen. Have you ever thanked them? There's so many plants out there working day and night to make us live. If they stop working for one day, what will happen to us? So, have we, how many emails we send, how many messages sent, instead of writing with, with regards or with kindness or whatever we do in our signature, yours sincerely, with gratitude, what will happen is that your brain will get trained to remember that you have to be thankful, that you have to appreciate every little thing that is happening. Have you ever appreciated the breath you're having? Breath is the life. of everything. It's a lifeline. Without it, nothing. Poof, we're gone. Appreciate, bring gratitude to your life. And a simple way is put it in your email signature. Remove the automated signature for few days or few weeks. Just write it down. It may take few extra seconds every email, but it is worth it. And now, as we're talking about here and now, and the fourth thing is just eat when you eat, just drink when you drink. Now, our lifestyle has become like we grab a takeaway, we are driving, and we are eating. We're not enjoying, we're just filling our belly because we need some fuel to run this body. But we don't even enjoy, we don't cherish the food, we don't appreciate, like I said, gratitude. But if you're driving and just quickly eating your food, are you appreciating? Are you enjoying it? No. Or when we're drinking water, I'm talking and then I'm just going to have a glass of water. We're not here, I'm there. And what I'm doing? So there's a difference. Uh, When we are eating, or when we basically, the point is, when we are doing something, we should be focusing on what we are doing. On the dinner table, there shouldn't be no phones. We go out, now it's been locked down for 11 months, but when we go out, we see people. We are talking to people who are not there. We're not talking to people, person sitting next to us, but we're talking to somebody who's not there over the phone. Is it that important? No, I don't believe so. That is important. And the third thing is when you think the life is so fast and it's getting out of control, or you're so anxious, stressed, just take three deep breaths. Just three deep breaths. All right, let's do it now as well together. On the count of three, three, two, one. Inhale. Again. So three deep breaths. Did you feel the difference? I do so many workshops, I do so many seminars, and I come across so many people who don't even know how to have a deep breath. Their the air doesn't go behind their chest. That's a sad thing that we have forgotten our natural way of breathing. As mammals, we should be naturally breathing into our belly. Nobody should be teaching us to do a belly breathe. So this is a simple thing. That's what I teach. How to breathe. This is mindfulness. When you breathe, you into your belly, you are kicking stress, anxiety out of your body. So that was the fifth one. Now I learned this thing like when I was talking to one of my mentors, and he said, Bhupinder, have you ever looked at the rooftops? I was like, why I need to look at the rooftops? He said, you work in London, you travel to London every day. There's so much architect, there's so much beauty because that's the place where every architect put his beauty, his creativity in. He said, there's so much. And then I started noticing. And it is amazing when you look at the rooftop. And then I started looking up at the rooftops. And then after a few months, and he said, "How was the experience?" I said, "I enjoyed it." And he said, "One other thing happened when you're looking at it. Your posture changed. You just started walking, but instead of just looking at the ground or looking here and there, you started looking. And this posture of looking up is psychologically associated with happiness, calmness, because this posture is posture of depression when we just sit like that, with our head down and shoulders up, just when we sit like that. You sit like that for 5 minutes, you will feel so lazy. And when you sit straight, you're active, you're happy, and then so that was thing I learned about looking at the rooftops. No matter where you are, you go to a hut, look at the rooftop of a hut, you will learn something, you will enjoy the creativity in it. So that was the 6.7th. Think that this person could die this tonight. This person could die tonight. And we follow this rule in our house, me and my wife. No matter how big the argument is, no matter what we just had, a big fight or whatever, we have to make peace before we go to bed. We have to say sorry to each other, whoever, whatever. It's not the point who say what and who was wrong. The whole point is to diffuse the situation and sleep with peace because we don't know what's going to happen. There are millions of people who don't get up in the morning, and I don't want to regret that I said or she went or she don't want to regret that I left this world not being happy with her or me not whatever. So basic thing is that treat and respect others and don't prolong these arguments because they are nothing. When the person is gone. You won't be able to get a text from them or phone from them. You won't have time. You won't get another chance to argue with them even. That's fine. Arguments happen, fights happen between relationships, everybody, but they need to be settled as soon as possible. We need to be kind. And when we start thinking with this mindset, we will be more happy and we will be more kind and affectionate towards our people, our loved ones, our friends, our family. So that's one key thing I think we all should before we go to like I always say in my workshops or seminars that before you go to bed, just write a gratitude journal that what you are thankful for or what good has happened to you in the day. And I think we need to add this thing that make peace with whoever you had an argument or fight during the day. Just say whatever, sorry. Be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. Now, when my wife gonna watch this, she's gonna be like, be the bigger person. So I've given her the ammunition now. So I want you to be the bigger person as well in your relationship. Say sorry. It was hard for me to say sorry, and it's hard, still hard. I find it really hard. But a simple story can diffuse a very, very, very complex situation. It's not that other person is right and you are wrong. It is that you are the bigger person. So be the bigger person. And eighth point is appreciation. Appreciate others who ever do something for you, no matter how insignificant is it is. Just appreciate. Appreciate your family, your friends, appreciate nature, appreciate Mother Earth, appreciate sky, appreciate sun. There's so much to appreciate. There's so much going on around us to make us live. There's so much going inside us as well. 72,000 nerves, veins inside our body pumping blood, eyes, heart. There's so much to appreciate. Just pause, just stop, just slow down and give a bit of appreciation. to the mechanism that you are, that's happening inside you, these hands, these eyes, nose, every single, because we have taken everything for granted. But the day we fall sick, we realize the importance of these things. We don't appreciate our hands, our arms, but ask those people who don't have them how important these are. Our feet, who carries the weight of our body. My feet carry me, and I should be thankful for to them. I should appreciate them. So that's one thing. Bring appreciation into your life, and then mindfulness driving, because it's one of the key aspects of mindfulness training, that drive mindfully. Because what we do is we are daydreaming. We just, if we on a routine route, we just don't think of driving. We just head to there, and then we realize, oh, I reached. Did I miss the speed camera? This thing happened to all of us. So we need to start learning. And the simple way is, the simple way about bringing mindfulness while driving is when you sit in your car and when you hold the steering wheel, feel them. Feel the pressure when your foot touch the speedometer, accelerator, or the brakes. Just bring your awareness from your hands all the way to your feet, and then treat your lights as the spot of attention. There's so many ways. Just be there. Just feel the temperature of the car when you're sitting. Feel the texture of the seat. This will bring so much relaxation in your neural pathways, and this will bring so much clarity, and it will bring happiness and joy into your life. There's so many simple. You don't need fancy things. You don't need expensive things to be happy. You can be happy with small things. Do you think poor people are not happy? I have seen people, happy people living in huts, people who don't have food, but they're still content, they're still happy. So, happiness, GP Hinduja wrote in Economic Times last week that you don't have to be rich to be happy. This is the richest man in this country writing that you don't need to be rich. And I have shared this story about him telling me that money is just one aspect of life, but it can never. He said to me once, Bhupinder, if you think money can bring happiness, then you're wrong. He said it is a necessity, but it's not compulsory to be happy. And he said it's not like go parallel. Happiness and money, they have got no comparison. So that's the richest man of this country talking about happiness and the connection with money. So that's like try to be mindful, try to live in the present because life is happening here and now. Appreciate what you have, your loved ones, because we are taking everything for granted, but we never know when and who, where they're gonna go. So appreciate, respect, gratitude, and live in the present. Trust me, life is happening right and now. Nobody has seen tomorrow, and nobody has brought the yesterday, what has gone back. So that's the reality of life. And we all know that. It's not that we don't know about it. We know about it, but still we are ignorant about it. So, last but not the least, smile. Smile as much as you can. Trust me, it will bring so much calmness and happiness. Just try to smile. Like I go for morning walk, I just smile at everybody. I also try smile at trees as well. I will see a bird and I will smile at that bird as well because I am doing myself good by smiling. Because when you smile, you release happiness chemical in your body, and when other people smile, the dose increases. So you're getting that chemicals for free. Why you need to go to doctor when a simple smile can give you that chemicals? Like I learned it a hard way, to be honest. I was so tough. I would just be like that sort of personality, angry person. But slowly and slowly, I learned that I need to relax because when you smile, your neural pathways, your brain relaxes and it knows that everything is fine. It comes out of that watch mode of this, what you call it, say, as a watchman, because your brain is trained to just look for alerts to save you, to protect you. But when you're smiling and when you're laughing, you are giving your brain the signals that everything around you is okay and it can relax. But if you're uptight, then brain's thinking something is wrong and it becomes more alert and it is using so much energy looking around, and then it is so using the resources that can be used to do so many other creative things. So just smile. I'll talk about it a bit more in some other seminar how can, because that's one exercise where we talk about laughing and smiling and how it affects the neural pathways. So it's one complete exercise we do in the workshops. So So these are small 10 tips that if we use in our daily life, then I think they will be really, really good improvement in our health, in our relationships, in our society. So charity begins at home. So we have to start with ourselves. We have to fill our bucket. We have to fill ourselves with love, calmness, happiness, joy. Then only we can give it to others. So let's go back to these 10 points quickly. First thing is change your screensaver. Breathe or be present. Set reminders. Third, gratitude in your signatures. Then, when you eat, just eat. When you drink, you just drink. And then take 3 deep breaths here and now. Whenever you get time and when you think the life is too fast, just have few deep breaths and then look at the rooftops. Trust me, it will change your posture. You will stop, and the whole physiology will change. And to be honest, you will gain 2 inches of height. You will look taller as well when you start walking like that. So that's another thing. And remember that this person could die tonight. So don't keep it for too long. Just say sorry and move on. Appreciate others. Appreciate everything that's happening around you. That's everything. To be honest, we are nothing. And then mindful driving, and then smile. So with this note, with a big smile, let me see. All right. So hope these points and this live has been helpful. And please ask any question you want to at any time and put in your comments what shall I talk about in the next live. So thank you. Have a great evening and catch you soon. Thank you.